Aloha, beautiful souls. Welcome to Empress Moon Tarot 777. My name is Ocean Moonflower. I also go by Empress Moon, and I am thrilled, so incredibly thrilled to be introducing you to a labor of love that I have worked on for the last 3 years that I personally believe is truly magical. And that is my legendary Mystic Tarot deck. This is so exciting to me to introduce this deck to you. It has not only been a labor of love and a deep spiritual journey, but it has been a creation guided by divine vision and also by ancient symbolism. The deck that I have here before you that I'm going to introduce you to was designed to awaken your intuition and empower your readings with rich, evocative imagery as well as diverse representation. You'll notice that this deck has something other decks do not. It's got several things other decks do not, and I hope that you will embrace that and recognize that it is designed to make you a masterful reader if you choose to incorporate it into your readings. So we're going to take a journey here one by one into these cards. Many of them have a medieval flair. I am crazy about, kind of like that time period, as well as there's a strong focus for me on wanting to show different ethnic groups as well within these cards. There are so many cards that I go to that are like white only, and I don't feel like that's the way the world works. I don't feel like that's the way our soul family is here on Empress Moon Tarot. Even, just our group, right? We are diverse. We're eclectic. We have several different backgrounds. And so I just really wanted everybody to be represented to such a magnitude that people will be able to connect to this deck in a way that really, really not only is a strong soul journey, but in a way that helps them to bring healing and enlightenment into their own world as well as the world of the people that they're reading for. So I hope that you will enjoy this deck as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. Like I said, it was a 3 year labor of love. So we are going to get started with the major arcana. We are going to go card by card. So before I get started on that, a couple bit of housekeeping items. Down below, you will find chapters. If you want to jump to a specific suit and come back maybe later, look at another suit, come back later, look at another suit, that's okay. Feel free to do that. Also, in the description box, as well as in the comments, you are going to find a link of where you can order this particular deck. Right now, I have the standard deck up for sale. I will be adding the deluxe deck as well, which will have the purple gilded edge like I have. So the standard deck does come solely with a purple bag, purple velvet bag to carry. I chose purple because purple sparks the intuition, sparks the third eye, and that was the reason I went with purple. And so I hope that it will be of help to all of you. All right, let's get started. Let's start with the Fool. The major arcana tells the journey of the soul from the standpoint of the Fool. So it's known as the Fool's Journey. There are 22 cards. These cards are considered archetypes. They're also what we experience in our spiritual evolution at various timings. You'll go through one cycle, finish that cycle, and maybe start another. So the fool's journey is always evolving and it's always changing and it's always growing. So we're going to begin with none other than the fool himself. I mean, look at this incredible gesture that we see here, getting ready to take that leap of faith. He's got his trusty companion beside him. He's got his bag of goods on his back. He's left everything else behind because he is ready to take this leap of faith. That is the imagery I wanted to portray on this particular card. And I wanted it to be a gesture because I felt like, you know, it needed to be a jovial, fun kind of energy of moving forward, right? So our adventure begins here with trust and a leap of faith. Now, let me show you the really cool aspects of this particular deck. Each deck has not only, the number for the major arcana or the number of the particular suit, but it also contains the modern name of the card, which is the Fool, and the Golden Dawn name of the card, which in this particular card is the Spirit of Ether. It contains the element that is ruling the card, which we see here is the element of air. We also see the planets that are ruling the card, and in this particular case, we see the symbol for the planet of Uranus, and we see the zodiac symbol for the sign of Aquarius, indicating that the Fool is associated with the sign of Aquarius and all of the attributes of an Aquarius, as well as the planet Uranus and all of the attributes of the planet Uranus and the air element. This is a great way to help you connect to the cards in a much deeper level. Uranus is the planet of freedom and rebellion, and it does rule over the sign of Aquarius. So Aquarius feels comfortable in Uranus energy of kind of taking that step outside of the comfort zone and choosing to move in a new direction. So here our Fool goes. He heads out on his journey. And who does he run across first? The Magician. So here we have the Magician, also known as the Magus of Power. This particular card is also ruled by air energy, the element of air. We see here that the planet that rules this card is the planet Mercury. And the zodiac signs that are associated with this card are Gemini and Virgo. This particular card says, hey, you have all the tools that you need. It's a card of manifestation and it's a card of power. So that's our Magician. You are going to love this High Priestess. Everybody I've showed this deck to just goes nuts over our High Priestess. So the High Priestess is about intuition. She's about mystery and sacred inner wisdom. I chose for our High Priestess to create an Asian High Priestess. And doesn't she look so regal, so beautiful, so magnanimous in this particular deck? And the colors that are streaming forth just scream intuition and communication and knowledge and wisdom. And so she is just showing all of her glory on this particular card, and I absolutely love it. She is also known as the Priestess of the Silver Star from the Golden Dawn. She is ruled by the element of water, primarily Cancer, and also the moon. Now, as we know, I go by Empress Moon. And I'm also a twin flame and a starseed, light worker, all that jazz. So when I chose to create the Empress, I wanted the Empress to kind of look a little bit like me. So I went with a Farrah Fawcett style, shall we say a Charlie's Angels style version of me here on the Empress card. And I pulled in that element of water because she's ruled by water, right? But also because of ocean. My name's Ocean. So I wanted to pull in all of those elements here, especially since it is a deck created by Empress Moon. That would be the reason. The Golden Dawn name is the Daughter of the Mighty Ones. And we see that this card is not only of the element of water, but is ruled by the planet Venus. And Venus rules over Taurus and Libra, and Taurus and Libra are represented in this card as well. So absolutely love it. Here she is. She's holding her crystal ball of intuition and knowledge. She's got her little wand. She's absolutely amazing. She represents the divine feminine and divine feminine energy in general. It's a very nurturing energy and filled with abundant creativity. So, as a twin flame, I wanted to also make sure that the other half of my soul was represented here as well. So, he will, if he's watching, he will recognize that this one is sort of a dark, mysterious version of him. So, kind of cool, kind of cool. And the Emperor is also known as the Son of the Morning, Chief among the Mighty. The Son of the Morning, Chief among the Mighty. That is a really kick-arse name for a card that the Golden Dawn had. This particular card is ruled by the element of fire. It is ruled by the planet Mars, and Aries and Scorpio are the two zodiac signs associated with this card. That's fantastic. It is a card of structure, stability, and divine masculine authority. Then we move on to the Hierophant. That's the next person that the Fool runs along on his journey, is the Hierophant. And when we see the Hierophant, it speaks of traditions, spiritual teachings, and higher learning, which is why we have like this religious figure teaching others around him. And he is listed as the Magus of the eternal gods. He's represented by the element of earth and also represented by the planet Venus and the sign of Taurus. Love, love, love. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Absolutely. The card of connection, choice, and union that are guided by divine alignment. The Lovers. So here I wanted to kind of give them an Italian flair. I wanted to kind of go with that, Romeo and Juliet sort of vibe. So where we see, one half, the male half is showing with that red passionate energy, and then the female half is showing with the blue water energy of compassion, right? The overall element that rules this card, though, we see is the element of air. And it is also ruled by the planet Mercury and the zodiac sign Gemini. It is known as the children of the ether. The Chariot. Look at this gladiator style chariot, right? So we were going with Italian again here, Roman, the Roman chariot, the Roman gladiator kind of vibe with the chariot, because the chariot is on its victory lap, right? It's on its victory lap. So when we see the chariot, it speaks of forward movement. It speaks of that victory up ahead, that focused willpower. So I wanted to show both the white and the dark horse as moving forward, although they may not be mentally in alignment. They're both moving forward. So it was important that I show that. We also see here that the element of water is represented by this particular card. Surprising, because we've got so much energy that would indicate sort of like fire energy, right? But it is actually the element of water. It's almost like that mastery of water that brings victory. And then we have this particular card is ruled by the moon and ruled by Cancer. Wait till you see our strength card. Oh, she's gorgeous. Here we have the Empress and the Lion. And this one is called The Daughter of the Flaming Sword. The Daughter of the Flaming Sword. We see that fire is represented, the sun is represented, as is Leo. We see the infinity symbol indicating that these two are divinely connected, that your soul's journey is connected to the strength that you seek and you find on the journey. It's about inner strength. It's about compassion as well, because the Empress is being compassionate towards the lion. And it's about courageous grace. Love it, love it, love it. Card number 9. Do I have any Virgos in the house? Card number 9 is our Hermit, the prophet of the eternal. He is represented by the element of earth, the planet Mercury, as well as the sign of Virgo. The Hermit is about solitude and inner strength. He's also about the sacred light that burns from within. Now here we go, fate and destiny at play. Who loves the Wheel of Fortune? Fate and destiny. It's about cycles, it's about faith, and it's about divine timing in action. We often see the fixed signs represented around the wheel, but this card isn't actually associated with the fixed signs themselves. The card is associated with the sign of earth, or the element of earth, and it's also associated with the signs of Pisces and Sagittarius and the planet Jupiter. The ancient name is the Lord of Fates, fate forces of life. Gotta love that. Then we move on to the Justice card. Balance, truth, and karmic accountability, babies. Justice. I wanted the scales to be balanced in this deck. For me, when I see the Justice card, I would hope, if it comes out in the reverse, things aren't balanced, right? So we want the balance scales showing on the card. So here we have this man represented with the Justice card, and I wanted to go with like a Mediterranean kind of vibe here. He has sort of a Spanish Latin vibe to him, and that's what I was going for. His overall name is the ruler of balance. And we see that this particular card is ruled by the element of air, the planet Venus, and the zodiac sign of Libra. Now, where's my Pisces with the hangman? This is about surrender, new perspectives, and a spiritual pause. I wanted to show the hangman could get himself out of the hangman's tree. So that is why he's playfully, jovially trying to climb out of the tree, although he hangs to gain a new perspective. He's overlooking the valley to try to see things from a new light where he couldn't see before he put himself on the hangman's tree to get a better look. So that is the vibe. I wanted it to be playful, jovial, and oh, I need to look down the valley below because I might have missed something. So I wanted it to really kind of push that new perspective, right? So this is also known as the spirit of the mighty waters. The spirit of the mighty waters. We see that it is ruled by the element of water. We also see that Neptune and Pisces are both represented on this card. Then we move on to the death card. The death card. Death card indicates change, transformation, endings and rebirth, a release of trauma and difficulty and struggle. And so I wanted to show her conflicted in that place of conflict where internally she may feel kind of dead inside and wounded and dealing with trauma, but externally she shows this strength, this sense of force. And this card is about releasing that bad side to embrace the rebirth, right? So here I wanted to really represent both worlds in this particular card. And she's absolutely stunningly gorgeous, if I do say so myself. And then so we have this is the Lord, the Lord of the Gates of Death. The Lord of the Gates of Death. And this particular card is ruled by Pluto, the planet Pluto, the planet Mars, as well as the sign of Scorpio. And we see the water element is represented here. Let me take a quick drink. Hold on. As I am losing my voice, my loves. We got 78 cards. We're going to be here for a while. Temperance, temperance, temperance. All about alchemy, balance, and divine harmony. Temperance. Isn't she lovely? So this particular card is also known as oh, I'm sorry, isn't he lovely? The bringer forth of life. That's a good point because, you know, religiously speaking, biblically speaking, angels are only men in the Bible, and therefore I only wanted to go with a male angel in this particular card, and that's why I chose that. So this is the bringer forth of life. It is ruled by the planet Jupiter, the sign of Sagittarius, and also the element of fire. The devil represents shadow work, temptation, liberation through awareness. And oftentimes, this is a card where you're stuck in this position by yourself, like that you've put yourself in this position. So I chose to show the puppet master because you can always release yourself from this. And so it was very important to me to kind of show that where you're really in control of your own destiny, your own direction, your own life. But in this particular place where you're dealing with addictions or you're dealing with temptations or you're dealing with something else, you may feel that you are stuck and controlled by other whims, um, lust, gambling, etc. This is known as the Lord of the Gates of Matter. It is ruled by Saturn, and the zodiac sign is that of Capricorn, and we also see Earth element represented on the bottom. Then we move on to another scorpionic card, the Tower. Let me do that again. I don't think I could. So the tower is about sudden change, right? It's like it comes out of nowhere. It's also about crumbling of illusions. I mean, we don't talk about that very often, but it's like taking down the illusions, illuminating something, letting truth become unveiled. So the tower can be the catalyst to truth becoming quite visible. This one is called the Lord of the Hosts of the Mighty, and it is ruled by Mars, the sign of Scorpio, and the element of fire. Next up, the star. The star is all about hope and healing and divine alignment on your higher path. And so here I wanted this kind of like, you know, this lush sort of nature scene by the creek where she's pouring the water of healing. You know, there's just this beautiful, beautiful energy, but the star figures prominently in the center. We see that this particular card is ruled by the element of air right here. It's also ruled by the planet Uranus and Aquarius. Pisces, Pisces, my 76% viewers, Pisces. Here's your card of the moon. I wanted our Lady of the Moon to be mysterious, to almost have that magical vibe, you know, like Druid or Wiccan or, you know, nature magic kind of vibe to her. The moon is definitely about mystery and illusion, and it's a call to trust your intuition. Trust your intuition in moving towards the future. But sometimes we struggle with receiving that enlightenment. So the moon is figuring very, very prominently here. This one is called the Ruler of Flux and Reflux. It is a card that is ruled by the element of water, the moon, and the sign of Pisces. And then we have the sun. Here we are. We are in the time of Leo. This is a card that would scream of that particular time frame, right? So here we have fire energy represented. We see the sun is represented here. Technically, Leo is not represented with this card, just the sun, but we often attribute this card to the sign of Leo as well. And this particular card is the Lord of the Fire of the World. So it's interesting because there's so many videos out as I'm recording this about, you know, oh, the Lionsgate portal is open. And it's like it's become this trend. It's like, oh, we're here in August, so the Lionsgate portal is open. Well, you know, the sun here does represent that opening, that beginning, that portal. The gates opening towards joy, towards radiance, towards ultimate spiritual clarity. It often represents new beginnings and new births. And so we see that represented here as well. Judgment is our next card. Judgment. Judgment, judgment, judgment. So, our card of judgment speaks of awakening, of a higher calling, of the rebirth, you know, like the phoenix rising, the soul redemption. And we see an angel calling this person up into the air. And once again, it's a male angel. And I told you why I went with male angels. And this is the spirit of the primal fire. Spirit of the primal fire. This card is ruled by the planet Pluto, ruled by Scorpio, and the element of fire. Last but not least, in the major arcana, our completion, the wholeness, the celebration of your journey is the world. This particular card is ruled by Earth and the planet Saturn. No zodiac signs, just the planet Saturn. and the element of earth, and it is known as the Great One of the Night of Time. The Great One of the Night of Time. So, that, my dears, is the major arcana. We are going to move from there onto the suit of air, the element of air. The element of air speaks of the mind, of communication, of conflict, truth, clarity. This suit was created specifically with snow covered mountains and dramatic landscapes. I specifically re- worked on this with snow covered mountains and dramatic landscapes to reflect on the intensity of the mental energy that gets expended in these cards. Okay. So that's the vibe we were going for. This is also my strong ethnic suit. So this is the one where I represented so many different ethnicities because I wanted it to be special. I wanted it to be connecting with many. So I hope that you will enjoy it as much as I do. This is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, that's that clarity, the truth, the new perspective, cutting through the fog, cutting through, the illusions, gaining that sense of an epiphany, then understanding. This particular card is ruled by the element of air, and it's also associated with three zodiac signs: Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The main name of it is the root of the power of air. The root of the power of air. Woo, we have our Two of Swords. We have our Two of Swords. This is the Lord of Peace restored. The Lord of Peace restored. And we see here that it is also ruled by air. And if you look really, really closely, you'll see I put these little numbers beside. On the minor arcana, you'll find numbers beside zodiac signs. That is the deacon of the zodiac sign that rules that card. The major arcana has a really unique aspect to it, and that is that, or did I say major? I meant minor, sorry. The minor arcana has a really unique aspect to it, in that the cards are ruled by specific deacons of astrology, astrological signs, rather than the signs themselves. And so this particular card is ruled by First Deacon Libra, which happens to be ruled by the moon. So here we see indecision, the crossroads of the heart and the mind, not wanting to look at a situation, being stuck, things of that nature, we see represented in this particular card. Next up is our Three of Swords, heartbreak, sorrow, but beauty through release. Grief is also represented here. So I wanted to show the wounded heart, which we see the wounded heart here. And we see that this person is giving reverence to the wounded heart. So they're making space to heal, making space to deal with the grief and the struggle and the despair in order to overcome it. And so that's what I was showing here with this Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is a card of air, and it's Libra's second deacon, which is ruled by the planet Saturn. It's called the Lord of Sorrow. Now, the Lord of Rest from Strife happens to be our Four of Swords, which is about rest and recovery. It's also about a sacred pause after a difficult pain. And we see here that it is ruled by the element of air, and it is ruled by third deacon Libra, whose ruler happens to be Saturn. I'm sorry, did I say Saturn? Jupiter. My apologies. My apologies. Jupiter, not Saturn. Then we move on to our Lord of Defeat, the Five of Swords. We often talk about this being victory at a price, right? The Lord of Defeat. Yeah, you won, but you didn't really win because everybody went their separate ways. And so this is about defeat. It's about an ego battle. It could be a battle of wills between two people that is pushed forward because of an ego issue. And this is also about a necessary strategy moving forward. We see that this particular card is ruled by the element of air. It is Aquarius first deacon, and that is ruled by the planet Venus. Then we move on to the Six of Swords, Aquarius second deacon, which is it is ruled by Mercury. And this particular card is showing the element of air as well. And we see here in this boat the transition, the healing journey, being guided through the icy waters of difficulty. So, this is an absolutely gorgeous card. Then we have the Seven of Swords, which is about deception. It's also about strategy, though. What's hidden beneath the surface is what comes through with the Seven of Swords. And here we have somebody ready to move on. They're moving on their own. They have all their swords with them. They are completely headed out in their own direction. He looks pretty badass under this light. I really wish it would show for you properly, but it doesn't. It's called the Lord of Unstable Fight, and it is Aquarius second deacon, ruled by the moon and the element of air. Then we move on to the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is mental entrapment and the power to free yourself. Mental entrapment and the power to free yourself. This particular card is called the Lord of Shortened Force. The Lord of Shortened Force is Gemini, first deacon, ruled by Jupiter, and we see the element of air is listed here as well. Now, from there, we move on to our Nine of Swords. Our Nine of Swords represents those sleepless nights, those shadow thoughts, the deep anxiety. And what I wanted to display here was that this woman was haunted by the regrets of her past and her fallen comrades. And so we see this really tough battle-worn woman having losing sleep and dealing with some real heavy struggles. She's known as the Lord of Despair and Cruelty, and it's ruled by Gemini's second deacon, ruled by Mars, and also the element of air. Then we have our Ten of Swords, betrayal and painful endings, also spiritual rebirth. Also spiritual rebirth. This is the Lord of Ruin, the Lord of Ruin. And it is represented by Gemini third deacon, which is ruled by the sun. That's what I thought I was seeing, ruled by the sun and the element of air. Now, when we go to our court cards, these are sharp minds and seekers of truth and warriors of wisdom. Our pages are our messengers. So we have the Page of Swords, which is represented by two elements, not one, but two. The two elements that our Page of Swords is represented by is earth and air. We see that the zodiac signs that are connected to the Page of Swords are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Our Knight of Swords actually brings the message. So the messenger kind of is like, oh, I've got a message coming. And here's the knight that shows up with the message bag. And it's like, here we go. The Knight of Swords is also ruled by two signs. But it's, as you see in this particular card, it's actually two of the same sign, element. So both are air. So this is double air energy. So imagine what this person goes through when they go to communicate. It's almost like, a regurgitation of what's on the mind, or, they communicate, they over communicate, or they quickly communicate, or they rapidly come in and say something and then they go, oh my gosh, what did I say? So it's like double air energy is on this particular card. And we see here in this particular card, it is Capricorn third deacon ruled by the sun, Aquarius first deacon ruled by Venus, Aquarius second deacon ruled by Mercury, and it's the Prince of the Chariot of the Winds. My. Then we move on to our wonderful Queen of Clarity, our wonderful Queen of Clarity. She is known as the Queen of the Thrones of Air. The signs represented are Virgo third decan, ruled by Mercury, Libra first decan, ruled by the Moon, Libra second decan, ruled by Saturn, and we see water energy as well as air energy represented here. Then we have our King of Swords, the Lord of the Wind and Breezes. The Lord of the Wind and Breezes. We see that this is Taurus, third decan, Gemini, first decan, Gemini, second decan, and we see what fire and earth, or fire and air, both represented here. Love it, love it. Then we're going to move on to our suit of wands. Now, with the suit of wands, I've got, this is kind of like the Irish folk, the Irish folk. They're all redheads. And so I went with that by, it's sort of like the connecting it to the fire energy. And they're all the imagery of the fire signs are associated with volcanoes and mountains. So difficulties, but yet also that sense with the volcano of the passion that erupts from within, right? The passion and the drive that erupts from within to drive somebody forward. So the element of fire is strongly represented in that way. So wands themselves represent spirit, they represent passion, they represent ambition and transformation. So, that's why the setting is volcanic and fiery and a land of inspiration and rising power. So I hope you enjoy them. The Ace of Wands we begin is the ace that ignites passion and bold creative energy. This is known as the root of the powers of fire. We see fire is represented. We also see all three fire signs listed. I love this card. It's gorgeous. I love the light shining out from the wand. Then we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is the vision of expansion, right? The vision of the future, planning beyond borders. So that's why he's overlooking the valleys below. It's like, where do I go from here? So we see a strong focus on that in this particular card. This is the Lord of Dominion. It's Aries' first decan associated with Mars and the element of fire. Then we have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands, momentum, opportunities, divine arrival. So here we see this, he's holding one wand. He already knows what he wants to do, but we've got three wands represented. And it's that representation of waiting for your ships to come in and seeing what comes next. It's noticed as the Lord of established strength. It's Aries' second decan, ruled by the sun and the element of fire. Well, wait till you see this Four of Wands. Oh, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous, darling. Gorgeous. Look at that Four of Wands. Now, if that doesn't talk about harmony and that doesn't talk about union and celebrations and sacred unions, divine unions and foundations, then I don't know what does because, man, oh man, this looks stunning. And if I do say so myself, and notice the red and the blue. Once again, we're going with the masculine and feminine energy. This is called the Lord of Perfected Work. It is Aries' third decan, ruled by the planet Venus and the element of fire. Then we move on to the Five of Wands, which speaks of conflict and competition, but growth through these challenges. So this could be an internal struggle or it could be an external struggle. And this is known as the Lord of Strife. That's what I thought it was. I was going to say it outright, but figured I better double check. The Lord of Strife is Leo energy, and it's Leo first decan, ruled by Saturn and the fire elements. Then we have the Six of Wands, which is Leo's second decan. The Six of Wands speaks of the victory, of being recognized, of a soul triumph. So this is absolutely fantastic. It is known as the Lord of Victory. The Lord of Victory, Leo's second decan, and the planet Jupiter. Then we have our Seven of Wands, which is defending your truth against resistance. So here she is. She's defending her truth amongst the group. So we have the Lord of Valor. Lord of Valor. And this is Leo. And it should be Leo third deacon. It says first deacon. So it looks like I've got an update to do on that. Then we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is the Lord of Swiftness. Sagittarius first deacon with the planet Mercury and the element of fire. This is about swift action, messages, and divine alignment. So that's positive. That's fantastic. Then we have our wounded but resilient knight here. The final test. Having gone through the difficulties and the trials, you're on the final test, battle worn and weary, but not broken. And so here we have our Nine of Wands, the Lord of great strength, Sagittarius second deacon with the moon and the element of fire. And then the Ten of Wands, our heavy burdens, our time to release and delegate. He's carrying those heavy burdens on his back. And here we see that this is Sagittarius third deacon with the planet of Saturn and the Lord of Oppression, the Lord of Oppression. Now, our court cards in the element of fire represent creators and adventurers and fierce leaders of purpose. Here's our messenger, the Page of Wands, showing Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries, showing fire and earth energy. It is the princess of the shining flame. Then we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is the prince of the chariot of fire. It is Cancer third deacon ruled by the moon, Leo first deacon ruled by Saturn, Leo second deacon ruled by Jupiter. And the elements represented are fire and air. Then we have our Queen of Wands, the queen of creativity and intuition and passion and purpose. She's amazing. She's got her little intuitive cat sitting directly beside her. She is on her throne, and she is listed as the Queen of the Thrones of Flame. So this is Pisces third deacon, ruled by Mars, Aries first deacon, ruled by Mars, Aries second deacon, ruled by the sun, and the element of fire. Then we have our King of Wands. I like the King of Wands. He's that major fierce leader. I like it. And here he is. He's sitting on his throne. He is known as the Lord of the Flame and Lightning. It is Virgo third deacon with Venus, Sagittarius first deacon with Mercury, Sagittarius second deacon ruled by the moon. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I'm falling asleep. I don't know why. This is one long video. 78 cards. Let's move on to water. And so water is the suit dealing with the flow of emotion, the flow of love, the flow of intuition, and the soul's longing. So I wanted to create sort of a dreamy emotional depth in these particular cards, where we see kind of like seaside Nordic towns and a Nordic environment. So to me, that kind of Nordic environment sort of screamed of this love and intuition and soul's longing, right? So here we have the Ace of Cups, the root of the powers of water. Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, and the element of water. I just loved this expression of water and in the Ace of Cups. Then we have the Lord of Love, the Two of Cups here. I wanted to show that instant compatibility, that instant spark that we're showing right up here, and how both people are thinking, oh, this could be the one, or oh, this could be my person in the present moment. So it's the Lord of Love. And the Lord of Love is ruled by the sign of Cancer. Cancer first deacon ruled by Venus and the element of water. And then we have the Three of Cups, which is about friends and joyful celebrations and soulful celebrations, reuniting with loved ones. It's known as the Lord of Abundance, and it is Cancer second deacon ruled by Mercury. Then we have our Four of Cups, which is the discontent, the emotional reevaluation, and unseen blessings. So, this particular Four of Cups, I really wanted to show that there is potential here, but it's not what this guy's looking for. And so it's showing that sense of discontent, right? And this is known as the Lord of Blended Pleasure. And it is Cancer third deacon ruled by the moon and the element of water. Then we have the Five of Cups, which is grief and loss and turning of hope. This is the Lord of Loss in Pleasure, the Lord of Loss and Pleasure. Scorpio first deacon ruled by Mars and the element of water. Then we have our Six of Cups, which is nostalgia, childhood joy, soul memories. It's also can be a reunion. So I wanted to show the soul memory of the connection of these two individuals in this particular card by showing the man bringing flowers to the girl. And so this is the Lord of Pleasure. Scorpio's second deacon ruled by the sun and the element of water. Then we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is known as the Lord of Illusionary Success. And that's because the Seven of Cups is about illusion. It's about choices. It's about fantasy versus reality. And so I wanted to show that sense of, frustration that this person has trying to figure out which direction is right for them or trying to figure out which aspect is right for them. And so this is Scorpio, third deacon, ruled by it looks like Venus. Yes, Venus. Then we move on to the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is walking away from what no longer serves you. So we see her walking away into the cold, but also into the light. So yes, her heart may be feeling a little bit on the cold side, having dealt with some issues with her person, but she's looking up ahead to the potential future that we see with the sun. And so that is positive. This is known as the Lord of Abandoned Success. It's Pisces first deacon in Saturn. Then we have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is about satisfaction, wishes being fulfilled, emotional abundance. And we see here we have the Lord of material happiness. Pisces second deacon ruled by Jupiter. Then we have the Ten of Cups. Gotta love this. This is harmony, family, the happily ever after. Isn't it gorgeous? Aren't they lovely? It's the Lord of perfected success. It's Pisces third deacon in Mars. Looks good. Now, the court cards within the suit or element of water represent empaths and dreamers and healers of the heart. And so here we have the Page of Cups coming forth with a message, or holding on to a message for you in order for you to move your life forward. So this looks really, really beautiful. Then we have our Knight of Cups, which is the actual messenger, right? That brings that message of love. He is known as the Prince of the Chariot of Water. It is Libra third deacon in Jupiter, Scorpio first deacon in Mars, and Scorpio second deacon in the Sun. We also see multiple elements being reflected here as well. Then we have our Queen of Cups. Oh, she's gorgeous. I love her. The Queen of Cups is very much that empathic energy, the Queen of the Thrones of the Waters. So this is Gemini third decan in the sun, Cancer first decan in Venus, and Cancer second decan in Mercury. And this energy is absolutely gorgeous. Then we have our King of Cups, the stable one who has his emotions in check. Love this. Our King of Cups is known as the Lord of the Waves and Waters. Does that mean he's the Lord of the surfing? I mean, if he's the Lord of the waves and the waters, wouldn't it mean he's also the Lord of surfing? Just saying. Even though he's not, but I mean, kind of a neat way to look at it. This is Aquarius third decan ruled by the moon, Pisces first decan ruled by Saturn, and Pisces second decan ruled by Jupiter. And we see that both fire and water are represented in our King of Cups. And last but not least, the element of earth. The pentacle suits ground us in the physical world. So they ground us financially, they ground us with regards to work and stability and legacy and finances. We often see stone temples and golden fields and royal abundance. So I went with a very strong energy here, showing both Latin influence, Spain Latin influence, as well as Greek and Italian influences in our people that are represented in this particular suit of cups. So, our Ace of Cups is the golden opportunity, the seed of abundance, known as the root of the power of earth. Virgo, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn are all represented here. Then we have the Two of Coins, which speaks of balance, of juggling priorities with grace. I wanted them to be somewhat balanced, or at least close to balanced, and show a little bit of a jovial kind of vibe to it. This is known as the Lord of Harmonious Change. So why not have it be harmonious and positive, right? It's Capricorn first decan in Jupiter, as well as the element of Earth. Then we have our Three of Pentacles, which is about collaboration. It's about skills and it's about shared effort. So I wanted to highlight the different merchants and their skill set and how they can all work together to create this Three of Coins, to create this stable future. This is known as the Lord of Material Works. It is Capricorn's second decan in Mars, and then we move on to our Four of Pentacles, which is about possession, fear of a lack of control, fears and vulnerabilities coming into play here. This is known as the Lord of Earthly Power. It is Capricorn, third decan as well. The Five of Coins. The Five of Coins speaks of hardship. It speaks of poverty, financial poverty, finding sanctuary. So I place these two people outside of a church where they can simply go through the doors to find sanctuary, or they can stay out in the cold. So it's kind of like it's kind of up to them. And this is known as the Lord of Material Trouble. It is Taurus first decan ruled by the planet Mercury. Also, in the element of earth, we have the Six of Coins. And the Six of Coins speaks of reciprocity, giving and receiving, and restoring balance. So, I wanted to show the exchange of money and the exchange of energy here. This is known as the Lord of Materialist Success. It is Taurus second decan ruled by the moon. Then we have the Seven of Coins. The Seven of Pentacles is all about patience and divine timing and tending to the harvest, tending to all the energy that you put into a situation, right? Being there, seeing it through, seeing where it's going to go. And so this is a really great energy of hard work and determination, almost to the point of paying off. It's called Lord of Success Unfulfilled. Unfulfilled because it's not yet fulfilled. That's Taurus third decan and Saturn. Saturn being the taskmaster, teaching the lesson. So here we have the Eight of Coins, and the Eight of Coins is about dedication. It's about craftsmanship. It's about perfecting something, spiritual mastery. So I wanted to show that essence of perfection with regards to, creating some sort of good, if that makes any sense. This card is known as the Lord of Prudence, and it is Virgo, first deacon, ruled by the sun. Then we have the Nine of Coins. The Nine of Coins is about independence and wealth and long-term security. So we're showing an instructor of sorts in her library or in her classroom, and we see this tremendous amount of wealth here. It's known as the Lord of Material Gain, and the Lord of Material Gain is Scorpio, ruled by the planet Venus. Did I say Scorpio? I'm sorry, Virgo. I did not mean to say Scorpio. We're in the earth element, not the water. My apologies, Virgos. And then we have the 10 of coins, which is Virgo, third deacon, ruled by the planet Mercury, the Lord of Wealth. This is about legacy. It's about family wealth and long-term security. It's a beautiful card showing just that out in the garden. Then we move on to our page. Our page is that messenger. And the page is saying that they are of the sun, they are the rose of the place of the earth. Rose of the place of the earth. All three earth signs are represented here. Then we have our messenger, the Knight of Coins. And the Knight of Coins is known as the Prince of the Chariot of the Earth. It is Aries' third deacon, ruled by Venus, Taurus' first deacon, ruled by Mercury, and Taurus' second deacon, ruled by the moon. Then we move on to the Queen of Coins. Our Queen of Coins she's very much, she builds something. She makes something grow in order to be a provider or to take care of others. So this is about legacy. It's about, providing for others as well. And she's known as the Queen of the Thrones of the Earth. Sagittarius third deacon in Saturn, Capricorn first deacon in Jupiter, and Capricorn second deacon in Mars. And last but certainly not least, our delightful King of Coins. I wanted his stature to be large because I wanted to kind of show that essence of strength, right? Because our King of Coins has gone through quite a bit to get to where he is now, right? So we wanted to really highlight that. And he is known as the Lord of the Wide and Fertile Lands. That's Leo third deacon in Mars, Virgo first deacon in the Sun, and Virgo second deacon in Venus. And then we also see that both fire and earth are represented on this card. All right. Wow. That is the deck. I hope that you loved it. If you are interested in purchasing the deck, there's a link in the description box. There's also a link in the description box. And I hope that it will be a treasured addition to your tarot supply, and help you to become the absolute most best tarot reader that brings clarity and truth to all of their clients and all of your friends and to yourself. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the legendary Mystic Tarot. Every card is designed to honor diverse beauty, sacred symbolism, and spiritual awakening. Whether you're a seasoned reader or just beginning your path, the deck was created to become a trusted ally on your mystical journey. And let me know in the comments which card spoke to your soul, or which cards speak to your soul. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss updates on how to order your own deck now that it's released, and that you don't miss future updates on other things as well. Until next time, keep shining and stay mystic. Ta-ta for now. We'll see you later. Love and light. Kiss, kiss. Ta-ta for now. If I can find the ending. Ta-ta. Bye, loves.